You realise you're on YouTube right now, and you just
I did not know that.
yeah, we're on YouTube right now. We're streaming.
Supplies.
Why working? No, I would still do it now if I hadn't like I think sometimes I
Here we
wonder
go.
if I really truly believed at that point, because see, when you really do believe in that stuff, you don't want to mess with it.
Yeah, no, of course not.
But
Of course not.
I mean, if you do, you've been very lucky, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. A
'Cause
spirit attached itself in
it did.
my wife's house.
Yeah,
And she had to get rid of it and
I
like
suspect
fuck that
the
shit.
so the funny thing is, like, when so I was doing all kinds of things with this group that I probably shouldn't have been doing. I was doing it under safety measures as well, the majority of the time, but you know, you're never really safe because you don't know what you're talking to. But my I mean, Tony has. I want to say Tony's experienced these things with me, but you haven't really, because it never really happened to you apart from once or twice, maybe.
All right, we're going to buy it
But things
because I'm going to need it
will
more
happen
than
to me
a few
quite
times, I
often in
think.
this house. More so under certain circumstances, like my mental health. But there's been times where things have happened in this house, and I tell
Let's get
Tony
this
about
done.
it, and he just has to trust that I'm telling him the truth, because he hasn't experienced it. But I had an experience where my hairbrush, like, I have things that go missing and then they just reappear in the weirdest, randomest places, and it's places you've already looked and you know you've looked. And me and Tony, I mean, Tony can confirm this, that the weirdest thing that ever happened to us was my uncle Mark was staying with us, and this was last. Was this last year? Yeah, this is last year. The shed key. Remember the shed key? We the weirdest thing that happened to us was the shed key was a old key that looked. I mean, it really looked like an old rusty key. You know, it's got the circle, it's long, it's heavy, it's made of iron, cast iron, like it's a heavy old skeleton looking key. Yeah. And like something out of Harry Potter, basically. And it went missing. And we always put it in the same place. Tony always knew where it was, because we're both creatures of habits. So we always put things in the same place so that we don't lose them. And this key went missing when my uncle was here for, oh goodness, maybe like 2 days. And all three of us looked all over the entire house.
Way longer than 2 days, because remember I had to actually order a whole new lock that day.
Palm Sim is mouse and keyboard only, Grey Mantle? I think not.
Key,
although that I'm sure they'd like it to be controller only, as in
it was
Xbox controller.
And my uncle
you hate plows because of the turn thing.
You know, Tony couldn't get into the sheds to get to
subsoilers. Ah, that's what Spike was after.
My uncle ended up driving back down south, and we never found it. And I ended up phoning him and saying, like, "Listen, have you've checked your car?" He's like,
"Who's this fella?"
With me. I says, "Okay, that's
Game
fine."
of chicken.
So Tony went down and he broke the door.
I win.
Wow. Tony went down and broke down the shed door and ordered a new lock. And it was again a couple days later with still no sign of the key. And then the new lock arrived, and Tony went and installed it. And he came upstairs, and I went into the bedroom. Was it me or you that went into the bedroom? Was it me? I think it was me. Went into the bedroom.
I think this is it.
And looked
we just lower it and go.
of Tony's bedside table, and the key was right there. And this has been a week that this is gone. And it's missing, and we've been looking for it for a week. We keep checking the same places over and over again. Where, you know, you look at your bedside table every single night.
You're forgiven, Grey Mantle. They look very similar.
Right beside his bed, and nobody could explain it. Nobody. It was the strangest thing. It didn't back until Tony replaced the lock. It was like it was trying to piss us off.
Yeah.
I don't really believe in things like that. Not fully. Not 100%. But every time you hear a story like that, it's almost always got something to do with a key. Don't know why it's always a key.
It's happened with my shoes as well, with my Uncle Mark while he was here. It was the same week. It was just there just seemed to be a lot happening that week, where all of us looked for my shoes, and we all went out. We went to the shops. We came back. We all arrived at the same time, and I was the first person to go into our room, and my shoes were in the middle of my bed, together, in front of my pillows with the shoelaces tied.
That's messed up.
And I had to shout Mark and Tony through, who still hadn't come into the house. They were still carrying bags upstairs because we're in a flat. And I was the first person to go in. And so, again, it was me that discovered it, which you could be saying, like, oh, it was me that was doing it. No,
It's supposed to be the other side. I think it is, isn't it?
And they had holes in it because I'm terrible. I'm not a shoe girl, so I don't have a lot of shoes. I'm a girl that just wears the same trainers all the time. I couldn't find them, and I had to wear these annoying shoes that weren't comfortable. I would never put my shoes on my bed because they're my work shoes as well. Like, I'm a care assistant. I'm a nurse, you know? You can imagine the things I'm stepping in.
I do have a gaming question for you. Like, so, the Alien movies, yeah?
I can't get it to unfold the other side now. That's weird.
No, we just watched.
Okay. Would you play an Alien game?
I wouldn't play it, but I would watch somebody play it.
Right. So
I think I got it. I think I got it.
Exactly what my friend did at the time when Alien Isolation came out. You would play the game, and then when you got to the point where the alien turned up, you would go and lock yourself in a cupboard, save the game, turn it off, uninstall it, and say, "No, I'm done."
Yep. That's me. Yep, that's me. To a T. Absolutely. Tony was playing Dead Island the other day, and I was really enjoying him watching him play it until
number one or number two.
Number two. Got stuck.
Is number two good, mate? I haven't played it yet.
It was. I am not.
I think.
It was
Okay.
a good laugh for a wee bit, like.
Cursed plows, I know, I tell you, right?
Just some of the zombies.
Will it get rid of this bush? That's my next question.
The redid that. What the hell was that flipping zombie game called that spawned about 5 or 6 flipping
Yay!
parts off of it, like extra, you know. Dead Rising. They redid Dead Rising recently. The first game, better graphics apparently. You ever played Dead Rising?
No, I had no.
You can get some serious amount of zombie kills in that. The second game, you were in a mall,
I don't know
in
what.
a shopping mall. Oh, it was crazy. They were absolutely everywhere. It was so hard.
I remember that. It was quite hard to get to that. See, try to get a gun in that.
Yeah, very difficult. I played number 3, I think it was, and I ended up running loads of them over with a steamroller and with great glee. It was hilarious.
See that creepy clown in the mall though that fucking chases you?
Yeah. No,
That
no
was
thanks.
quite freaky.
No
Like,
thanks.
it didn't bother me, but that was creepy as shit. That.
I don't like games like Dead by Daylight as well. I don't like my mates gleefully chasing me while I'm trying to get off a level. It's horrible.
I just can't. I don't know what it is about zombies. I just find zombies absolutely terrifying.
I like zombie games. Like.
Mate, I love them. Great game.
It doesn't. This doesn't put me off playing a game, but it definitely is it's definitely a fear of mine in games. Is sharks.
Oh, mate, you totally get on amazingly well with my wife. I'm telling you. Do you have a fear of going underwater?
Not in real life, but as I've gotten older, a little bit, yeah. And I don't know why.
In a computer game, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So like something like Raft. There's no way my Mel would play Raft. Well, she would play it. She would play it, but she wouldn't do the spelunking. She wouldn't
Yeah, hide. Exactly. I'm with you, Graham Antle.
Somebody else.
So Tony really wants to play Subnautica with me, and I just
my wife will not go anywhere near that game.
yeah.
It's mate. If they made that multiplayer, that would be.
See, it's gone co-op.
When?
No, the new one is gone co-op.
Oh, the new one. I've got the old one.
New-
Oh,
The new one that's coming out, dude, is going to be a co-op game. So you'll be able to hear like your pals and that.
Had to be really, didn't it?
It's really
Well,
conflicting
it was
for me.
screaming
because
for it, Mike. Screaming for it.
Such a good game.
love the ocean, and I love ocean games. I love anything to do with under the sea. I'm just
Thieves, mate.
It's just sharks.
I love boating games.
I just remember the first time playing Subnautica, not caring exactly what it was, and then going up to that ship and hearing that fucking Leviathan.
Yeah, the first time I encountered one, he killed me straight away, and I was like, nah, I'm done. I'm out. I'm done. I'm out.
I've never had a game that gave me that sort of feeling in years, by the way.
Put it this way, I can deal with all the spiders and everything that are in the Hogwarts games. I can deal with spiders in Grounded, I can deal with spiders generally, which is quite strange. But throw a shark in there and
You know when you swim out to the island where you can pick up some of the pieces, blueprints and things like that in Subnautica. There's like an island, but you have to go through a really, really deep patch of water. Every time I look down into the depths of that, my bowels disappear. I swear to God. I sit there and I'm like, no.
what was that game that Neebs played that had it was not Raft, but it was a similar concept. That had
Sunken Land.
Was it
talking about?
DG Hoggy Fresh was the character? What was that?
No, it wasn't a Sunken
It
Land.
wasn't. There wasn't that. It was. Oh God, it's really gonna annoy me. Anyway.
It was like that survival island thing.
Yeah. You had to build a raft and you had to get back to the plane and fix the plane and.
You wanted it was like an aircraft carrier bit, and then it was like you had to kill like different creatures.
You had
and
to go
stuff
all
like
around the different. You had to
that.
find-
Game, I can't think of that.
They made a map and it was hilarious watching it. Anyway, I would have struggled to play that game because there was bits where it was a boss in the sea that you had to fight, and you're on a raft.
Grey Mantle's got it. Stranded Deep.
Stranded Deep. That's it.
Well done, Grey Mantle.
10 points to you, buddy.
Yeah, 10 points to Grey Mantle.
That's it. I would have struggled to play that game because you've made your own raft, right? It's not very sturdy, it's not very strong, but also because you've got to actually dive into the water and dive deep to discover even what the creature is. And it's, one of them's a kraken, one of them's an enormous eel that flies about the place in the water.
Holy cow, that game has evolved since I last played it.
One's a megalodon, one's a kraken, one's an eel, but you've got to actually swim deep into the abyss to find out what it is, and then it jump scares you.
Gave you motion
You don't know how
sickness.
it's gonna grab you. You don't know how to fight it. It's just no.
Can you drop the plough keys?
Absolutely terrifying.
I'll tell you one game that this community should totally play, and it's only £4.29.
What's that?
I totally think this community should play Chained Together.
Chained, is that the hell one?
Yeah, that's the hell one. Yeah, the one that Neebs Gaming played.
I
Man,
absolutely agree.
man, we would seriously not become friends within about 20 minutes of playing that game. The amount of times that you would scream at people for not jumping over the fucking gap.
That game goes on and on and on. I mean, before you even reach a checkpoint, it's worse than Monopoly when it comes to ending friendships, but it is hilarious. I would love to play that. Absolutely.
If you want to log off, Keith, I know it's quite late now, mate, for you, and you might want to go to bed. I'm quite happy to lime this and fertilise it and seed it myself. I know I'm psychotic, but it needs to be done like right now.
No, I've got time. I'm not doing.
It's
Not
11
to work
o'clock,
that
mate.
weekend.
I was just like, okay, if you've got time, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. I'll
Not working
set
the
you up
weekend,
with a
so-
limer.
For a minute then, I thought you were rapping, Keith.
Dip, dip,
Yeah.
dip, 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 dip. Put your teeth back in, Keith. Put your teeth back in. Teeth back in.
That's fucking class.
That was brilliant, yeah.
It's almost as good as Arkwright from Open All Hours, right? Granville. Watch the dudes. Seriously, go on YouTube. You can watch the very first episode on there. I watched it with my mum the other day. It was brilliant.
What's that?
Open All Hours.
Open All Hours. I've never heard of that.
Are you serious?
Ronnie Corbett and David Jason, mate. And you've never heard of it?
It's funny.
Oh, is this
Funny.
an age thing maybe for me? I'm a lot
Probably.
younger than.
I mean, you're not supposed to ask a girl
80s.
how old she is, but like, you're like, what,
I'm
you're like
29.
well, you're like 25 or something, yeah?
29.
That's close. That's close. I dropped a few years off of you.
It's well worth
Yeah.
a watch.
20's 39. I'm 29, so there's 10 years between us. Basically.
Okay. 10 years between my niece and her fella. She turned 30 this year, and he turned 40 this year.
Yeah, Tony's just really immature, and I'm just really mature, so it works out, you know.
Yeah, mate. That's exactly the kind of relationship me and my wife have got, and there's 2 years between us, and she's older. I'm very immature, and she's very mature.
The look that I just got, he's like, I fucking right. Aye, like you're the mature one.
All right, mate. I've got your lime. I've got you a limer.
Yeah.
Just go for it. Fill it all up, and I'll get the sprayer, and off we go.
Depends. I could be mature. I'm getting a mortgage, right? Fuck off.
I seriously, I'm 45, and I'll never grow up, like ever.
No, I'll never really grow up either. I just don't. I'm just not a very serious person. I'm serious when the time needs to be serious, but
Life's too short to always be boring.
I'm far too goofy. I'm just a big goofball. I make jokes about everything, and
I think it's important to be responsible, but not quite so important to be mature.
yeah, I agree. I'm responsible when it needs to be done, but maturity is maybe not always there. I find that when I'm with my family, I don't know if anyone else feels this way sometimes, but when I'm with my dad's side of the family, I often feel like I'm the only goofy, bubbly, silly one that's there, and everyone else is like too busy being a teacher or a nurse, or I don't know, just being bland. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I find like my family are really academic, and they're all very academically brained, and I'm just daft. something that I find really funny, they don't find it as funny. But it's just when I'm with my cousins, I guess. But definitely with my cousins. I feel like I'm a different person around my cousins than I don't feel like I'm actually me when I'm around my Leaper side of the family.
You have to be that little bit more mature and reserved and serious and stuff.
I don't know why they've just all become very serious in the last couple of years, really. Before things that have happened in our family that would maybe explain why that would be the case, you know, have happened. So I don't know, they just I think they're all just trying to be perfect, or I don't know, like normal, I guess.
But what is normal?
Well, their normal is I guess just like wine tasting.
Normal. Everybody's
Like
in personal perspective is normal.
I guess I'm maybe just more laid back than the rest of them. Like I quite like going to the pub with my pal, having a couple of drinks, and like just having a total goof off and just laughing until we fall off the sofa. And their ideas of a fun time is maybe like an afternoon tea or like a wine tasting.
and they're like watching soaps and
Yeah,
shit like that. No, it's boring, mate. That's not a
yeah,
life. That's not a
yeah,
life
yeah,
at all. Sorry.
yeah, yeah. Like Kirsty will come over, and my other like friends and things. Oh, maybe I'm just a bit too schemy. I think that's my problem. I think I'm just a bit too counsel for them.
To council, lol.
Council estate.
East side is the best. No, west side is the best.
Suburban glory, and they're all teachers and high school teachers with degrees and university things, and yeah, I wipe shite for a living in the wards, and I like an Echo Falls. A pancake down there, you know. I don't know. I'm too council estate for them. I grew up in Falkirk.
Like a pancake, yeah.
What?
Smoking a pancake.
They didn't dare even consider the idea. They would never touch it. They would never even think about it. It would be if they knew that I'd smoked that, they would probably.
An escape from life. I'm with you, Grey Mantle. That's when I started gaming. I gave up gaming for the longest time.
You realise you're on YouTube right now, and you just.
And then when I was having a lot of stress.
I did not know that.
Yeah, we're on YouTube right now. We're streaming.
Supplies!
I like to roll up a pancake with some butter and some maple syrup.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I don't smoke them. I eat them.
I just really like burning pancakes. What's the problem?
Absolutely.
Let's try and tidy this up a little bit.
Love my
We're
family.
back in a minute.
Wait,
Okay,
put my
okay.
bloody full name and everything in this. Love that. It's not a weird. Someone told me.
Supplies.
That's me. Dumped for my entire family. Bless them.
Depends if they're watching.
To be fair, yeah, I was going to say, I don't think they'll be watching, but
Probably not.
if they've just got a penchant for Farm Sim 22 all of a sudden. But from what you've said, it doesn't sound like that's their kind of bag.
Oh dear.
I've got a field, guys. I got my first field.
What are you going to do with it?
You have to complicate things, don't you?
That's the only reason I'm here.
What did you do with yours?
I've not got one yet.
Have you not?
No, I'm still cutting my grass. I'm in for the long haul.
Blimey. I'm thinking wheat.
I've cut down every big tree that's on my lot. It's only these wee tiny ones that are left, and you don't get much wood off them.
Have you planted any new ones?
No, not yet.
It takes 2 years to grow, apparently.
So no 3.
I don't know. Could be. Could be.
I think 3 maybe.
How's your chickens, Stu?
Well, I've run a couple over with the lawnmower, but apart from that, yeah, I'm fine.
Man's got to eat.
Do out here. There's no McDonald's.
Oh, you had an evil stepmother. Oh dear. Yeah, lots of people have them. No Farm Sim 25. I'm going to do that separately because it's just not good enough, really. Truth be told.
Oh no, I would have to be desperate to go back to that.
Let's get round here.
I actually still have nightmares sometimes that I'm working in McDonald's. Where I'm like stuck on a shift and there's just hundreds of customers and hundreds of tables that are needing. It's like that time I remember when I had a fever, and I had a dream that it was a repetitive dream while I had this fever. I would fall asleep, wake up, and then fall back asleep, and it would continue. It was weird. I had 30 or 40 McFlurries, Oreo McFlurries on order, and they were flying all around the place, and I had customers screaming at me. And my partner at the time said that
Taco
I got out
Bell.
of bed because I had a fever. I was hallucinating, and I went over to the light switch and I kept flicking the light switch on and off because I thought that it was the McFlurry machine.
What is Carpathian Countryside and Castle Nord?
You know how you say
Are they
something
maps?
talking in my sleep? I was shouting out, what is it? 20 chicken nuggets, where are my chicken nuggets? Like, Rhiannon, you're dreaming.
Oh my god.
So when I had a fever, and I was working at McDonald's at the time, and I had to go home halfway through my shift because I don't know what happened to me. I don't know what I had, but I was really unwell.
Right, that's one field.
Yeah, that's what kept happening. I went home like halfway through my shift, and I was off sick for a few days, and I just lay in bed and I kept falling asleep. I was just that tired. It really floored me, whatever I had. It was obviously a virus. But it was giving me hallucinations, and yeah, I had a dream that I had like 30 or 40 McFlurries, Oreo McFlurries on sale at the same time, and a queue going out the door, and these McFlurries were flying about the place like it was bloody Hogwarts, and I couldn't. I don't know if you guys ever worked at McDonald's, any of yous?
I once took a job at McDonald's because I fancied this girl that worked there.
Oh, God.
Well, I mean, well played, sir. Well played.
Yeah.
How did that
And after 3 weeks, I sent out a fillet of fish with no fish in it, and I got fired. But to be fair, I was only there for one thing.
It could have been worse. Could have sold a burger and not had no burger in it.
Well,
I'm not a complete imbecile, you know.
do you guys remember? Well, do you remember the McFlurry machine? You had to stick the spoon onto the machine, stick the McFlurry.
Oh yes,
the button
I
to
do.
spin it, right? Well, I got out of bed with this fever. Didn't realize I was kind of like sleepwalking, but well, I guess I was sleepwalking. And I kept flicking the light switch on and off, thinking it was the McFlurry machine. I was making 30 McFlurries, and he woke me up halfway through my dream, which you're not supposed to do if somebody's sleepwalking. But you know, I was having a rave in the bedroom apparently because the light switch was going on. And he woke me up and he was like, "Babe, what are you doing?" And I'm going, "30 McFlurries." It's like, stop fucking flicking the switch.
That's fucking hilarious.
Gave me some paracetamol, put me back to bed, and then it was maybe like 3 hours later, I woke up again. I woke him up, again, screaming at him that I needed my 20 chicken nuggets right now because there was 999 seconds on them. And he was like, "There's no chicken nuggets. You're in bed," you know. It was really bad. I once had a guy who told me how to, now that I know we're on YouTube, how to get onto the roof and get off the roof very, very, very quickly because he had gherkins on his burger and I was just the dining area lady. I was just cleaning a table. Wasn't even the person that made his burger. So that was one of my experiences working there. It was great. Great.
Well, he was threatening you or something?
He told me, he told me how to get on top of the roof of the building and then how to very quickly get off.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
And I said, only if you show me how to do it first.
Nice. Good response.
Yes, we got into trouble. Only because I told him, only if you show me how to do it once.
Right.
Paul was laughing while she was giving me the row because she was like, "That's
I'll
genius."
give you another 7 bags, mate.
Yeah. Says, "Oh well, I'll do it if you show by example." Didn't make your burger, but cool.
Done.
Thank you.
Welcome, mate.
There was a guy who lost his tooth in the bin once as well, and I had to go raking for that.
Oh, lovely.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
You've done
Yeah.
some exciting things, haven't you?
Oh my goodness, the stories I have from working at McDonald's, honestly, I could do a whole podcast. That is hilarious. Some of the things that I've had to... I mean, this guy, his tooth fell out while he was eating his burger. And he put it on the table. It was like a false tooth. It was like a crown or something. And he put it on his tray and then accidentally forgot that it was there and he binned it. And came up to me really sheepishly and was like, I've binned my tooth. And I thought, what? Because I've binned my
Say
tooth.
that again in English. You're like, that can't be what you just said.
You bent your tooth. And he was like, yeah. And now I need it because I need to go to the dentist to get it fitted back in. And I was like, you want me to raid through this bin of all of this mess to find your tooth? And he was like, yeah, please. And I was like, what am I, the fucking tooth fairy? But I did it.
Fucking tooth fairy.
I fucking did it. I found it. And the guy, actually, he was so thankful. He left and he went and got it sorted and he came back a few hours later and he was like, look, it's back in. I was like, that's not the one that was in the bin. He was like, no. I said, well, why did you need the other one in the first place then? He was like, oh, I suppose I didn't. Remember, we also had this, poor wee soul. We had this wee old man who, I say poor wee soul actually, I remember how this ended. And we had this wee man who, looking back on it now, I think he might have had something like dementia. I'm not sure, bless his soul. But he was a regular customer, and one day he went into the toilets and he had an accident. And he came out with his trousers down and walked into the restaurant. And so he was obviously quite confused. But this woman panicked and went, "Oh my God, a Willie!" And
how'd you know my name was Willie?
she just turned round, and right enough there was this like 80-year-old man standing there with his trousers down, like covered in whatever. And we were like, I don't know. I think this is why I ended up going into care after this, because this kind of stuff ended up happening to me regularly. This
Was
woman
it just on your shift?
This woman that had just been to B&M's went and unwrapped her curtains, her brand new curtains, and wrapped them round them. And we had to phone the police to come and collect them and, I don't know, escort him home. Well, a couple of weeks later, this same old man came in. He was in the queue, I was cleaning a bin, and he smacked my ass and ran out giggling.
Oh my God. Can we call this episode Farming Sim Server Startup / Rianne's McDonald's Stories?
I think we should.
Farming gone nuts.
Honestly, you'd never believe me. Some of the stories I've got. Honestly, I worked there for 5 years. That was in Falkirk and in Fife. Oh, the Falkirk stories trump all the Fife stories. 100%. That's no longer there now.
Grimsby's McDonald's is built on was replaced an old cinema that used to be there. Like my dad used to go to that cinema. There was tons of cinemas in Grimsby at one point. You were still able to go up into the old part of the cinema up there as well. It's still there, which is pretty cool. Apparently it's haunted, so I don't know.
Mm.
Sorry, that's the only McDonald's story I've really got. I do apologise.
No,
It wasn't as good as yours.
Listen, oh no, honestly, I literally could not tell you all of them. There, some of them is.
Are you talking about the one down Finger Street?
No, mate. The actual Grimsby town centre one that used to be an old cinema. Did you know that?
I forgot as well. I think they're talking about building one down there anyway.
Used to be, yeah, they are. Yeah, it used to be the Regal. I think it was called the Regal. I'll have to ask my mum. She'll know. But I know there was about 5 or 6 cinemas in Grimsby at one point.
I've worked in enough retail for me to never want to work in retail ever again.
Thankless job.
Oh gosh, it gives you some good stories, but no, horrible job.
Good.
I mean, I could if I had to, but I really wouldn't want to. People that work in retail are some of the toughest people I know. They just have to deal with. The general public. I mean, I have to deal with it in my job as well, but it's different. It's just different.
My good lady used to work at IKEA, and she can tell you some stories there, mate. I tell you.
So, again, it's funny because it's like most people always remember the bad stories, but you didn't really remember much of the good ones, to be fair.
I know. Well, you're right.
You always remember more bad ones than you do good ones. That's fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm looking for something I saw in an advert. What is it? I don't know. And they expect you to know what it is. Like, for fuck's sake, really?
I actually work in retail. Charity shop.
Ah, that's slightly different though.
Right, that's got its moment.
Oh yeah. I did volunteering in a charity shop for a while.
He's actually got a part-time paid job in a charity shop, which is rare as rocking horse shit, to be fair. And like Keith was telling me that they were scoping out like where to set the shop up, and they went to this place that's like right at the riverhead in Grimsby, and there was a squatter in there, and they were like, "What are you doing in here? Is that Olivia?"
What are you doing in my lounge?
How did you get in? I'm not fucking telling you that.
So he's a squad.
You can get away with a lot of things in your store.
Yeah.
It's mad, man.
Squatters' rights are, squatters have more rights than a lot of people in their own houses.
It's madness when it's like you've got loads of houses sitting empty. You know what I mean, fuck on them, but like nothing's ever done with them. You know what I mean, they could be used. So many homeless folk.
You just see places like high streets and things getting rougher and rougher all the time now. The majority of high streets are now poundlands and shoe zones and charity shops. And
Poundland isn't what it used to be, is it?
No, it's not. No.
Stuff in there for £5 now. Well, what the hell's that all about?
Inflation.
Yeah, I know. I remember the time where you went into Poundland and everything was just a pound because it's Poundland.
The joke used to be walking up to the till and saying, "How much is this?"
Yeah. But now it's not a joke.
No, it could be any price.
Yeah, it could be under £1. It could be over £1. Okay. It's more general. It should be generally Poundland now, you know, rather than.
I should call it a couple of quid or less.
That's it.
Or more.
Don't forget the land on the end of it.
Well, yeah, a couple of quid or less land.
Loads of cheap crap.
This has been a lovely little banter time with you guys. I've really enjoyed this. Considering the shit I've been through today.
You have a bad day.
My mother-in-law, her arthritis played up super bad. Her legs wouldn't work. One of her arms wouldn't work, and it took her 45 minutes to crawl to the door to open it for us, for me and my daughter to let me in the house. I'm fine. Yeah, absolutely, mate. You are fine. She's gone to hospital, thank God. But she was very reluctant to go.
They usually are. Like, your mum's terrible, eh?
I mean, like, in June, I as you well
I have to take this
probably
tree
well
down if I
know
want to
from
make it any
Tony,
wider.
I passed out and fell in the bath. Wasn't drunk or anything like that. I don't drink. I think it was like a blood pressure thing, and yeah, I collided with the bath tap, cracked the bath, and the bath tap was a long-handled metal bath tap. I hit it with that much force that I sheared it clear off in one clean go of hitting it.
Oh my God.
Broke, fractured 2 of my ribs in the process. And then, like, I woke up and I was like, oh.
So it needs lime.
Came through and was like, oh my goodness,
lime,
what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? And I'm like, go get Mum. And she woke her up and she came upstairs.
I'm going to park this up.
Take it in turns looking after the dogs because
Get a lime machine.
our Springer's not very good at getting up the stairs anymore, and we don't like to leave her downstairs.
Great Mantle, sorry buddy, I was immersed in conversation and ploughing.
So
You know when
she
you
came up and
start
she was
ploughing and your brain
"Oh,
just
okay."
switches off.
And she got me out the bath.
Apologies
and I went,
for
"Oh, let's go to bed.
not
I'm
spotting
alright,"
your comments.
because I know that the fucking A&E's a nightmare joke. So I was like, "Oh, just put me in bed, I'll be fine." And I could barely move the next day. And she went to a doctor's appointment, and it was a nurse there, and she said about what had happened, and the nurse was like, "Fucking phone 111 now." So I was like, "I don't want to," and she's like, "Yeah, we've got to do it." And I spent 12 hours in fucking A&E getting sorted, and then 12 hours on a ward. I was not happy.
I bet you it would have been a ward like the
I
one
need to
I
unfold
worked
it
on,
first.
actually, if you
It's
went to
interesting.
A&E then.
Joke. Absolute joke.
My longest stint was 3 weeks after my appendix had ruptured.
Oh, shit, man. Bloody hell.
Honestly, I was so close. The doctor said to me, I know if my mum hadn't phoned me and she had, another hour later I would have been dead.
Jeez, man.
It was close, like. It was three weeks I was in hospital for.
My mother-in-law a few years ago nearly died from diverticulosis. Is that how it's pronounced?
Diverticulitis.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, she was awful. She looked terrible, man. Terrible. And we had to convince her to go to the hospital as well. It took her, nearly flipping dying to go to the hospital. It's crazy.
So whilst all the settings and the mods that we add are intended to make the game more realistic, the actual gameplay ethos is going to be quite relaxed and quite free. And we're all going to mess around and help each other out and all sorts of good stuff. So if you'd like to become a part of this server, then all you have to do is come and join our Discord and request a farm, and if there's a space, you may well be allowed to join us.